another take of mine that looks fantastic right now. Indiana was down 27-25 to Indianapolis. Yeah, Indianapolis. That's the team they played. They were down by 2 points at halftime of this game. Now, Indiana did turn it on and end up winning the game, so we can't overreact too much. But who am I kidding? Yes, we can. I can overreact to anything I want.
Also, Greg, you need to define this game a little bit more, because I saw a lot of people responding saying, oh, you didn't tweet anything about the end of the game. Oh, you didn't say anything about the end of the game. We ended up winning by almost 20 points. This game was close all the way up until like the damn near 6-minute mark of the second half. And they turned it up in that 3 to 4 minute stretch. But let's not overlook this. Indy D2 basketball school, shout out to the lower division schools, always represent. They were in this game for the damn near whole game. Okay, this was a very close game. They played extremely hard, and I think that you saw a lot of issues that we talked about with Indiana come to the forefront. And I think that you should be genuinely concerned, because in my watch back of the game, and when I was taking some mental notes and doing things in my phone and basically things like that, I saw all the things that I thought would cause issues for the start of the year. It seemed that they couldn't really execute a 3-on-1 fast break. It didn't really seem like they could get out and run. They were struggling finishing against a lower division team. That's never a really good size, especially at the rim. Kel'el Ware's kind of, to me, looked like he didn't like basketball, but still didn't like his basketball way into like 12-6 or whatever he had in this game. It just, like, I don't know. Nothing about that game did anything to change my thoughts on Indiana basketball. If anything, it made it worse.
Yeah, we've been pretty loud that we're selling Indiana stock all offseason, or at least I have. I think late you kind of came around and were like, they have a higher ceiling than we've said. But for the most part, you and I have been collectively selling them. I do just want to say, before we get into the Indiana side of this, I mean, it's a really difficult task. Like, if your job for a game is to try and, I don't know, contain Jesse Bingham and Paul Zelinskis and Sean Craig, like that's a three-headed monster that's just difficult to contain. So shout out to Indianapolis, Indy, like those three just crushed. And I don't think Indiana had any answers. I don't know how they're supposed to. I don't know how a Big Ten team is supposed to have answers for Jesse Bingham, Paul Zelinskis, and Sean Craig, let alone one that has kel'el Ware, who I'm told is a first-round pick, and Mackenzie Mbako, who I'm told is a first-round pick, and Malik Reneau, who I'm told is an all Big Ten guy, and Xavier Johnson, who I'm told is a top 10 guard in the country. Do you get what I'm doing here? Everything we've been told about this Indiana team is a lie. And I've been trying to tell everyone this all offseason. Everything, literally anything positive that people have said about Indiana is a lie. It's just not accurate. The truth about this Indiana basketball team, they might be all right. They might sneak into the tournament. They might be a bubble team. I'm not saying that can't happen. But the truth about this Indiana team is they had a massive hole in the backcourt and didn't address it at all. Like, that's every other team in the country that like went out and got things that they needed. Indiana just didn't. Indiana just like saw that their only guard on their roster was Xavier Johnson and then said, let me put all my chips on Xavier Johnson. He has to be everything for this team. And again, Indiana fans have claimed that's okay. It's clearly not okay. Like, Xavier Johnson, I'm sorry, he's not that guy. He's not the guy who can play 35 minutes and be everything for a team. If he was Yogi Ferrell, maybe this looks better. He's not. Like, he's just not a guy. He's going to be okay, and that's about it. Indiana's going to have to do all their damage in the front court, and we've said there's so many questions, both on court and off court, of how these guys fit together. And the early returns are kind of ugly. Like, kel'el Ware had 14, 6, and 2 blocks. He played 25 minutes. And Kenzie Mbako, 5 for 11 from the floor. He hit a 3. He was 3 for 6 from the free throw line. He had 14 and 8. Like, the production's kind of there. Malik Reneau, 5 for 9, 12 and 6. Like, you basically got 3 power forwards who can get you 12 and 6 every night. That's what I'm expecting from these guys. And
kel'el Ware's was garbage time points too, by the way. I just want to let that be known. Like, he was sleepwalking the whole game, and then he turned up for like the last 3 minutes.
But I don't see anything more than that, right? Like, aren't these 3 guys just 3 12 and 6 guys? Which all individually, that's fine. But as a cohesive team, you somehow have to get more than that. And the guards around them aren't going to be more than that. So I don't know how it works. Like, you look at the bench for this team, Peyton Sparks, he's my nominee for worst transfer, not like worst caliber wise. He made the worst transfer decision in the country. He transferred in so he can play 4 minutes a game off the bench. Like, why? Why did he choose to go to this team that has 6 power forwards?
I think he got hurt though, low key.
Oh, did he actually?
Yeah, I think he turned his ankle and they held him out.
Okay. He only had 4 minutes in the first half, and then he finished with 7. So,
oh, did he come? Oh, then he must. I'm okay. Then he might have came back in. I missed him. I was watching it back and I saw him sprain his ankle pretty. I thought he turned it pretty good. I didn't know he came back in though.
Okay, then my apologies to if I screwed that up and didn't know he got hurt. I just watched the Matthew Love ball and I didn't notice that. Yeah, I don't know. Just go through like Anthony Walker, power forward, off the bench. Cool. Not what Indiana needs, right? Like, Gabe Cupps didn't really do much in this game. He missed a 3. He was 2 for 4 from the floor. Looks like a bench guard. CJ Gunn was aggressive at least. He was 3 for 8.
Did you come away liking CJ Gunn from that game? I kind of did.
I like him compared to their other options. I don't like him compared to guards in the Big Ten.
Oh, no. I'm talking about just Indiana as a basketball team.
But okay. I can't believe I'm even saying this. It's so gross to think about. If Tamar Bates is on this team, isn't he like their 5th best player? Isn't he their 2nd best guard, clearly?
He's 2nd or 3rd.
I'm taking Tamar Bates over every single guy off their bench.
Off the bench? Oh, yeah, off the bench? Yeah.
And
I don't know. I can't. I randomly came away liking CJ Gunn a lot out of this game. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, 0 for 2 from 3, 2 for 5 from free throw. 18 minutes.
But the takeaway we need from this though, Gregory, we weren't overreacting to what we said about Indiana. They're literally just proving what we said. Now it could change. I get it. I know Indiana fans are going to get in our mentions and our comments and be like, it's one game, it's overreaction. You know what? It might be. But what we're doing right now is we're reacting to the game that we saw, and the reaction is yuck. Yuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna react. That's what I do. Okay. Like, I have a podcast so that I can react to basketball things. If you call that overreacting, fine. I'm not afraid to overreact. I'm going to talk about basketball. It's what I like to do. And last thing for me on Indiana, there was a lot of like, put some respect on Trey Galloway dialogue to us. Like, when we were criticizing this roster and our concerns for them, part of this was like, we don't think Trey Galloway is anything more than a role guy. In this game, he was absolutely just a role guy. He played 24 minutes. He was 1 for 5 from the floor. He didn't attempt a 3-pointer. He was 1 for 2 from the free throw line. He finished with 3 points and 3 assists. That's their starting shooting guard that has to play 30 to 35 minutes a night because you didn't get any other guards. I'm looking around this conference, man. I don't think Trey Galloway can do this job. I just don't. Like, they're going to ask way too much of him, and he's just a role guy. And it's kind of hard because I don't think this is fair. I don't think this is fair to Xavier Johnson and Trey Galloway to like ask them to be things they're not. But the roster is going to beg them to. And I think it's going to go really, really poorly. Like, to put a final number on it, they attempted 10 3-pointers in this game. You know how bad that is in this era against this opponent? And of those 10 threes card, 4 of them came from the front court. Like, Kel'el Ware and Mpako attempted 4. You had 6 3-pointers attempted as a team outside of the power forwards that start for this team. That's insanity.
Yeah, it is. And if I'm an opposing coach, I'm like, damn, that team's going to be pretty easy to check.
I mean, I think I made the comp of the offseason. It reminds me of the Josh Smith, Andre Drummond, like Greg Monroe Pistons. Like, I have no idea what you're supposed to do with that. It's ugly. It's ugly, ugly, ugly. Great. That felt refreshing. I enjoyed that. I don't want to prey on anybody's downfall, but I enjoyed that.